Okay, in this video, I'm going to talk about the 3 most common errors that beginning tennis players make. The first one is contact point is too close. So it's very natural, if I were to throw you a ball, you would be chest facing, and then you would be behind the ball, and you would catch it in front of you. It wouldn't be very natural for me to move out of the way and catch it off to my side, and that's what we have to do in tennis. We have to create space because we want the racket to extend and the arm to extend away from us into contact. So if I'm too close to the ball, then I can't have any arm extension to the ball. My arm structure and my elbow comes into the body if I'm too close. So I want to make sure that I create space so I can swing outwards to the ball. The other most common issue is late preparation. So watching the ball and then making a very quick, abrupt swing. We want to have a very rhythmic, taking the racket back on time. We want to time it based on when the ball comes over the net. We want to be sideways. We want to recognize that ball early, whether it's going to be a forehand or a backhand. And we're going to create space. We're going to get to the side. And then as the ball bounces, we're going to be fully back. And then after the bounce is when we start moving forward with our swing. Too often on the bounce, I see kids taking the racket back, and then they get very rushed on the sending part of the swing. And then the last thing is contact point. It's too often that the contact point is too far, too close, and too far into the body. So in other words, the contact point needs to be a little further out. And typically that's because the wrist is too neutral during the swing and it's very tight. So when we take the racket back, we want to lift our wrist up just slightly like this. So we have a little bit of wrist extension, and then that requires our contact point not to be here, but further in front, off our front hip. So if our contact point is here and we're hitting the ball straight, that means our wrist is in the wrong position, and it's a very weak position. The more I extend my wrist, then the stronger and more stable that wrist is. If I'm in a neutral position, then it moves around too much during the stroke. And we want to be able to control the ball and have a very consistent strike. And the best way to do that is with a little bit of wrist extension. So the 3 common errors are too close, preparing too late, and then contact point is too far back in the body. It needs to be further up front, which is most likely because there's not enough wrist extension. So if you can fix those 3 common errors very early, you'll have a lot more success being able to rally on the wall.